Hi, it's Dirk with Remodel AI, and I'm here with another user request. This one came in from Lindsay, and she would like some help remodeling some of the aspects of the outside of this home. So it sounds like she would like to, let's see, remove these shutters, and that should be fairly easy. Change this set of 3 windows to 2 windows, and I assume that means these right here. Maybe get rid of this arch. Because that's the middle third. So obviously we'll need to get rid of that if we want to go to 2 windows. Explore cream-colored vinyl siding. That would be up here, I assume, on the right of the porch. Oh no, that's over here. And the garage door would stay the same. So I'm assuming she doesn't want to do a full remodel. She just wants to explore a couple changes. So we're not going to do a full remodel of this. She did give some inspiration photos. We can't use this as a style photo, unfortunately, because it's a screenshot and it has all this extra stuff. We could crop it down, but that's a tiny, tiny image. This one's a little blurry, so we really couldn't use that as a style image either. It might work, but there's not enough detail here. It's really blurry, so it's going to produce blurry images because that's the style of that image. But we can probably go about with some custom styling and still figure out how to do this. So let's switch over to my app here. I'm going to jump into the exterior editor. I'm going to load the photo. I put it on Google Drive, I believe. Yes, I did. And I'm going to use the editor because we're going to do a lot of different edits. So let me just resize this a little bit so we get the whole thing maybe about right there. We have all our tools down here. I'm going to go to the replace tool, and I'm going to remove and make a couple of these changes first. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these shutters. And again, with the replace tool, you want to have it be bigger than you think. You want to cover everything. It's only allowed to change the pixels that you cover, so you want to make sure you get it all. Because if you leave a corner exposed, it's going to put the shutter right back because it sees a corner of the shutter. You don't even probably need to describe anything. You didn't say you wanted to get rid of these, so I'll leave those there. It might decide to put them back because it sees those down there, but I'm just going to say nothing. Give it no guidance and see what the AI comes up with, what it would suggest. And it did put them back. It got rid of them over here, but it put them back here. Let's see, it put them back. Yep. I don't know why it did that. So it got rid of them there. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that, and then we're going to try it again because we did get half of the result we wanted. So I'm just going to go replace again and hit next, and then we're just going to do these. I don't know why it decided to keep these. I'll say something like clean windows, no shutters. Give it a little bit more guidance as to what we want or don't want. That's really not what we want in any of those cases. I don't know why. You know what? It might be insisting because of the shadows. I didn't think about that. Let me go back and make sure I get rid of the shadows. That's probably what's going on. We could also probably get rid of these. Maybe that's why it's really insisting to put shutters up there, because it sees shutters down there, and generally you have matching shutters. I forgot to put in a style this time. But again, it'll probably work with no guidance because we're not guiding in any specific direction. We're just asking to replace those areas of the image. Yeah, and that's more what I would expect. I think it probably just really wanted to match what was down here. I think this looks a lot better personally. Before and after. I think I like this one the best, I think. I'm going to go with that one. So now we've cleaned up the shutters. I think you also wanted to change this to a kind of a bi-panel window. So I'm also going to use replace for that. And I'm going to say, let's get rid of this. And just say something like large 2-panel window on upper floor. Again, we're trying to describe either what we want to put here or the image as a whole. You can play with different things, different prompts to see if you can get what you want. The problem is going to be, I think it's going to see this 3-panel window and it's going to want to match that because aesthetically it's probably going to be the same. Let's try something like, well, let's go back and let me check the mask. So we got everything there. Large window on upper floor. And let's see how that works. So I expanded the mask a little bit to give it more room to work with, and I also changed the prompt to large windows. That's closer to what we want. I wouldn't say it's perfect. You know what I'm going to do? Because we do have that bar in the middle. I'm going to do this. I'm going to accept that, and then I'm going to do another replace and say, okay, oh, too big. Undo. Make the smaller brush, and let's just get rid of these things. So you can see how I'm not looking necessarily for the perfect result. I'm just doing an iterative process to see if I can get kind of the look that I'm going for. You can try to go for the perfect one and just keep hitting generate again and again and again. But this might be a little bit easier as you can get part of the result and then do it again to finish the rest of what you want. I don't like that. That's probably more what you want. I don't know exactly what you're going for, but I would assume something like that, where you got rid of the arc that was originally there. So if we go back, here's the whole process. Remove these shutters, remove the first shutters, remove the second shutters, remove the arc, and then merge these two windows into one. Something like that. Let me switch over and see what else you wanted to do. So I believe you said you wanted to explore different colors. I'll show you how to do that. And then also change this to stone. So in order to do that, there's a couple different ways we could do it. If we wanted to put stone around the garage, which I think is what you want, I'm going to try first using the replace tool, and I'm going to say let's do this whole area here. Actually, I'll just brush it, it'll be easier. That was way too much. Let me undo that. Sensitivity down. Still too much. I'm just gonna manually brush over it. So with the replace tool, we want to go too large. Make sure we cover everything. So I'm gonna give it more than you think you need. So let's try that. We're just going to replace this whole area and see if we can get kind of the look we're going for. So now how would I do this? I would say stone siding around garage. You could say something like beautiful stone siding around garage rocks. You could just type in whatever you want. All sorts of words to encourage it to see if you can get it to put in kind of the look you're going for. That's pretty good. I like that too. That's probably your best bet. That one just did one. But again, you can sit here and hit generate all day until you find one that you absolutely think is perfect just for the look you're going for, or maybe the image you want to show to a contractor, or whatever your root goal is. You can hit generate as many times you like and let the AI be creative. It's going to give you different results every single time. Oh, that's funny. The windows above the garage, that's fancy, but there's a header there, of course. That's probably the best one. I'm going to go back and probably pick this one. I like this one because the stonework there looks really good. But, you can, again, play with that as much as you like. So for the last thing you wanted to do, I believe you wanted to explore new colors. Let me just check. And cream colored vinyl on the right side of the porch. Oh, you just wanted to color the top. Oh, you wanted to see some different siding on the top layer. So I don't know if you want completely different siding or if you wanted different colors, but I'll show you. You can use the same technique that I just did for the garage if you wanted a different siding. If you just want to explore new colors, here's how I would go about doing it. I would go into the Paint Explorer, click Next, and then probably say just use the Smart Mask and let it choose the walls. Nope, that didn't work. So I will go in here, and basically what you're going to do is you're just going to paint the area that you want to paint. This process could be a little tedious. This one, unlike the replace, you want it to be as accurate as you can, because you want everywhere that you cover is going to paint. And again, I think you're probably going for different siding, not different paint, because it's not going to match here, which wouldn't make a lot of sense, to be honest. But I'll show you how this process works in case this is what you're going for. Anyway, that's about as close as I can get it. Then you just click Next. And then you just change to, I can't remember what color you wanted, some kind of beige color, but let's go with something like this, and then look for similar. On the Rocks, Big Chill. Big Chill by Sherwin-Williams. You can, play all day with different paint colors. I'm just going to show you one or two. And then once you've picked one, just click generate, and it's going to do its best interpretation of what that color would look like on your home in the area that you specified. Now, obviously, there's a lot of variables there, like the lighting, the temperature of the lighting, even the way your monitor displays colors. So it's really a guess to help you find what might look right. I don't love that color. I don't think it matches at all given this. But, that's how you do it. I'm going to cancel out of that because I don't really think that's probably what you want to do. You probably want a different siding. And if that's the case, I would use either the replace tool or the reskin tool. Let's go ahead and try that actually, just see. I think you said something about cedar siding. So the replace tool, you actually want it to be a little too big. So you don't have to be as accurate. Want to make sure we cover everything that you want it to replace. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here just to get a little bit more accurate. And I'm actually going to use the eraser to say we don't want you to replace any of this. The existing roof needs to stay. All that needs to stay. As well as this white siding right here. And this mostly needs to stay. Let's clean that up a little bit. Okay, so, and I guess actually we need to cover this. Okay, so I think that's probably a decent enough mask. And again, you can always come back and add more or subtract more if you're not getting satisfactory results. But let's go ahead and go with that and say beautiful cedar siding on upper floor. Nice home. Again, you can get really descriptive here. If you had product names, you can type in whatever you want and it will do its best on what it's been trained on, which is billions of images all over the internet. So it has a pretty good idea of most products and descriptions. So just get creative and try different things and see if you can get the result that you want. That's cool. That's probably the look you're going for. But, it's not perfect. It messed this up. But what you can do is you could say, okay, I want to replace again. And then, fix this area. So we don't want a window there, even though that'd be super cool. It's probably not realistic. To have a window there. In that case, you just come in here. And again, you don't have to give it a prompt. It'll probably just put siding there. Given a second a try, because if you showed a human this picture and you didn't show them that area, they're probably going to guess that there's siding there that matches the other portion. And that's probably what we want. And that one's, I think, the best one. So once you're done with all this final step I would suggest is going to one of the upscale functions and saying upscale this to a larger size. A beautiful home. You don't have to type in a description, but sometimes it helps to give it a description. You could even get into, stonework and cedar, so the upscale process knows what you're going for. The reason that's necessary is because this upscaler adds details that don't exist. So, in this case, you may want to keep the stone or keep the cedar siding. So if we go back, that's before, that's after the upscale. So I'm going to hit, and actually I will save this for you. So every time you do an edit, it goes into your gallery. So let me just show you where those are. This is on Android. It's a little different on Apple, but go into pictures. Here's all your different edits of all your different steps. So here's your final one. I'll share this with you on the forum, so hopefully this will give you some help in your adventure. But also there's this one, which is the pre-upscaled version. And hopefully that will help you decide which direction you want to take this house. If I can be any other assistance, please let me know. And again, you can replicate these steps to take it in a different direction if that's the direction you'd like to go. Thanks again, and good luck.